We had Albert Breer on this program yesterday.
Breer,
a great tan. He's in Arizona for training camp
today. Has he changed his avatar yet?
Well, all he did is just complain on a text with me and Money Manager of the Stars, Don, about how it's 117 degrees in Glendale, Arizona. And Don's response is like, "You're in the desert. It's August. What's your problem?" At any rate, listen. The reason why I bring it up is Breer was here, and he's just like, when he went to Oxnard, he goes, "For the first time, I'm actually believing that the Micah Parsons contract standoff and the Cowboys' approach to it might have something to do with wanting more buzz for the team." And as he said, being the A block of First Take.
Yeah.
And again, he's referring to the highly popular Stephen A. Smith program on ESPN, and the A block is a TV term for the first item up for bids. For instance, this is the A block of the Rich Eisen show. So if that is in fact the intention of Jerry Jones, I'm going to give him what he wants. It's because we're talking about it. Because he spoke again. And every single time he speaks, it adds just a new layer to the
my frustration.
Frustration or the insanity of it.
Yeah,
and, you know,
very dumb.
And because when he talks, the grounds shift. You're trying to figure out why he's taking the approach he's taking and why they keep doing this with their star players by making them wait and sit out up till the very end or hold in or have a training camp that's other than just focusing on the task at hand. You know, while you're going through your practices, you look over to the side and you see number 11 standing there. Or last year, you're going through your practices and you're looking around for number 88 and he's not there. Or last year, you know, you're going through everything and number 4, the leader of the team,
really important,
is being made to wait until the last possible day. And why do you want to go through all that unless you're comfortable doing it and living in your comfort level? And, you know, just shortly before we went on the air, if you wouldn't mind popping up the quote board, we'll get to that first. Yeah. Dak Prescott, according to Yahoo Sports, he knows what this all means because he said to Jory Epstein of Yahoo Sports, when Micah Parsons announced his trade request, Dak texted Micah, quote unquote, F man. And Dak says it wasn't an F you, Micah, or F them. It's more of an F. Because he knows, as he said, this is frustrating for everybody involved. He understands what this means. And right now, we get deeper into the F part of it. And the guy who appears to be comfortable with all this is the guy who could basically change it all with one phone call. And Jerry Jones, bless him, talks to the media, likes talking to the media, enjoys, I think, the endeavor until, you know, the questions begin to get repetitive. But it's really his making this bed, and the fact that he's eager to lie back into it with the cameras all around him. And then it's left up to us and the Cowboys fans to interpret what he means. And does it mean a standoff with no answer to it? So here's the 2 sound bites. We'll play them one at a time that everybody's talking about here on this Wednesday before the full preseason week number 1 of the 2025 NFL season.
Have you talked to him since the trade request?
I have not, no.
Has your people started any contract talks with his agent?
Excuse me?
Has your negotiator started contract talks with his agent?
No.
Are you hopeful anything could change with this situation this week?
Again, this situation being...
With Micah and the contract.
With Micah. Listen, that's part of what we do. We have continual contract negotiations going on. I know you have Micah at front of mind, but we're continually working on contracts, and all clubs are. And so I don't necessarily put a big red letter beside any time that we've completed contract negotiations, but I'm appreciative when we do. So, but it's really business as usual.
Now, business as usual, he's basically saying this is what we do with all contracts. Or business as usual, this is what we do with the contracts with our big players most of the time. I mean, it doesn't really give you much confidence that we're getting closer to midnight. Because that's the question. When does midnight strike? One would think September 3rd, Wednesday, September 3rd is midnight, day before the game in Philadelphia. Or the day you get on a plane and Micah makes the choice of, I'm not even getting on a plane. Don't forget, Dak got on a plane to Cleveland. Now, he might have gotten on the plane because he got a call from his agent saying we're close. But right now, he's not even talking to Micah, nor is anybody from his team talking to his representative. Because again, as you'll hear, the Cowboys feel it's on Micah to actually show up in uniform on opening night if nothing gets done, because he is under contract. It's not like he's a free agent. And I think you can hear that in Jerry Jones's answer when asked about urgency. When is it midnight, sir?
When does it become urgent? I mean, clearly you want him on the field against Philadelphia. When does it become urgent that we need to get something resolved one way or another that he's on the field against Philadelphia?
Again, your definition of urgent is not necessarily. I don't believe you gave a definition of urgent. Okay,
I just asked when does it get urgent?
So I stay urgent.
Okay. Okay. Any confidence that he will be on the field against Philadelphia?
Again, no, absolutely not. That has to. A big part of that is his decision. How would I know that? I'm just saying. No, but I'm urgent.
Well, that's, one would think, the polar opposite of don't lose any sleep over it. That was the last time we heard from him on the subject matters. He told folks like yourself, don't lose any sleep over it. And the way I interpreted that is like, don't lose any sleep over it. This thing's going to get handled at some point, and we'll sign him. We know it. And that's the end of that. You know, but now he's like, it seems as if the approach is, what do I need to talk to him for? He's under contract. Why do we need to reach out to the agent? We already discussed some sort of a framework of a deal back in March that he took off the table. Wait a minute. Why is it sensitive? You know, when you ask me of a sense of urgency about, obviously you want him on the field in Philadelphia. No, of course I want him on the field in Philadelphia, but he's under contract, so it's really up to him whether he wants to play. That's the approach he's clearly taking right now. Now, again, I'm not Jerry Jones. I'm not the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't have a bust in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I'm not on Landman. I don't have all of Jerry's decades of Hall of Fame acumen, right? I would handle it completely differently. I would 1,000,000% start the process of calling the agent and saying, let's end this. I want him. We all know he's not playing for the number. I don't want to go through this anymore. So let's get to it. And I'd want to do it before Aiden Hutchinson sets a market that I don't want to surpass. I don't want the Lions to beat me here, and I don't want the Bengals to suddenly wake up and go, "Oh, okay, we'll pay Hendrickson a certain amount of money." I'd like to get it done. That's what I would want to do. I'd want to remove all this stuff. Give Brian Schottenheimer his best player on defense, if not the entire team, right out there on the field. But then again, there's always something going on here in the NFL where there's an iceberg and we only see the tip, and all we keep hearing about in this media business, and you know I don't trade in rumor or anything like that, but there's a full-on conversation, you hear it all the time, that there's some Micah fatigue in that Cowboys facility. You hear it, I hear it, people write about it, people talk around it, and I'm wondering if this is like, you know, on behalf of those in the front office or those in management or those anywhere in the building that has Micah fatigue, Jerry's fighting a fight for them. And some people might be sitting there in the Cowboys organization and going, that's right, Jerry. Make him simmer. Make him sit. I mean, we know he's eventually going to come back here anyway, but maybe there's some sort of a humbling that he wants him to undergo here. Don't forget, remember when Tank Lawrence left? Threw that verbal lob back into Dallas telling Micah, stop podcasting and focus on your stuff. mean, there's something underneath. I'm wondering if that's at play here. You have to start wondering about that sort of stuff. And that obviously makes the personal get a little bit deeper. But again, in the same way, talent over everything, whatever there might be in terms of gear grinding with the front office or people in the organization and Micah, this guy is as talented as they come. Once again, there's two people who ever played the National Football League with a dozen or more sacks in the first 4 years of his career. One of them is named Micah Parsons. The other is Reggie White. Talent over everything. And in that respect, he's going to get paid. Right? And it's not just talent over everything as well. It's you need to win football games, and he's the guy to do it. And, you know, personal aspects be damned. Just like talent over everything, there's another one. Money over everything. And we saw that with Myles Garrett. I hate to keep on bringing up anything mercenary with him, but he went from, I'm out of here, they can't win here, oh, wait a minute, Deshaun Watson's out all next year, we might have Joe Flacco, and we're going to draft somebody at the position. I'll go back there for $40 million a year. And now that might be a cheap deal at the end of the day. I still believe, as we continuously take this cheese every day, that at the end of the day, Thursday Night Football, banners raised, Eagles fans are going nuts. Let's say they win the toss, they take the ball. Micah Parsons will be lined up across from Jalen Hurts with a new fat deal. Now, will all bygones be bygones personally, emotionally, and all that stuff? Maybe so, maybe not. The first paycheck comes in, then it will. I'm telling you. I've seen it over and over and over and over again. And over again. The good news here, TJ, is I don't know who the next guy who's going to go through this grinder for the Cowboys. Because after Micah gets done, I don't know. Although the Cowboys do draft very well. You do have to give them that.
Yeah.
And that they draft them well. I would just love for them to be signed earlier so these moments don't have to happen for the players, for the fans, and that maybe, just maybe, the few millions that they save by signing somebody early can add to another player on special teams or defense, offense, offensive line, so you get some sort of depth. That does appear to be a case of why the Cowboys sometimes fall short.
You hit the nail on the head there.
So this is all happening